In this formatting video, we are going to talk about how to clean up a little bit of the beginning and the end of the book, and more importantly, how to fix the chapter headers, because I know that is everybody's favorite part, because that's what we look at when we look at books. How do we get those graphics in, and how do we make it pretty? Okay, I do want to start right here because in my last video, I added this title, but I didn't do anything with it. So I'm going to start by zooming out a little bit so I can see the whole page. I end up with this really small view a lot because I'm not really needing to read the book. Then I'm going to come into the title of the book, and I need this to be really big. So I don't know how big I want it. So if we want it on one line, that will work. I don't need the author name to be quite as big. And when you open the book, if you think about opening a book, this is going to be right away on the right-hand side. So we might right justify this. That's a little bit weird. So maybe we'll just center both of them. We could right justify both of them. And then we'll try to get this centered on the page. So that's also a really nice landing spot right below the author's name. If somebody buys the book from her, she now has a place to sign it underneath the title of the book, which looks really nice. And then when they turn the page, it's nice to have either the next page is going to be the copyright, and then the acknowledgement will be on the right again. If she's going to want the acknowledgement on the left and right, so when somebody reads it, it's all there together, we could end up adding another page, but this is something that I'll speak with the author about for how she wants it all to be. One important thing is we do tend to want the actual book itself to start on the right-hand page, so we always want the book itself to start on the left-hand page. So we want it to start, on an odd number. So right now, if we look, if I put my cursor here, the book is starting on page, it says down here, it might be kind of small to read. It's starting on page 5. So that's good. We want to start on page 5, on page 7. Any of these pages are good. That's going to be more important a little bit later when we add page numbers, which is going to be a video unto itself, because that's one that you might want to review often, because that's the one that gets a little bit complicated. But this is the fun one. This is where we're going to make everything pretty. So this is going to sound weird. I'm going to start off by backing up. That helps with centering. If you don't start by backing up, your centering is going to be wrong. I'm also going to back up this right here. Okay. I also want to note that up here it says Hammer and Heart paperback. I've already saved this separately. The backing up this first line of the first paragraph, you could have done that before you saved it off separately as ebook and paperback. And before you upload the ebook one to any ebook editing, you're going to want to make sure you do that. Okay, I'm now going to highlight all of this. And I am going to change this to single space. I'm going to need, if you have that as exact and you put an image in there, the image is at that exact spacing and the image won't show. And that, if you've been struggling with an image that looks weird, that's what your problem is. You have something at an exact spacing and the image is more than that exact spacing, and that is your problem. Okay, so now we want to center this. And I am also going to take my title and I'm going to go up to 16 just to make it a little more, give it a little more weight. Now I want to do my image. So I have my images selected, but I don't have it sized yet. So this is what the author wants. So I'm going to copy this, and I want to skip a line before adding it in. And adding it in is going to be fun because it's going to take the whole page once it pastes in here. And I don't want anything this big, obviously. I mean, it could be exciting, but that's really not what I want. So let's It's going to take a second for this to listen to me. And so I want something much, much smaller. And so I'm actually going to zoom into this so I can get it sized more accurately to what is wanted. I'm also going to come here and do it exactly what I did with the title, which is get all the way to the side before I center it to make sure it's truly centered on this one. You might think, but why? But those of you who are really visually picky will be like, oh, thank you. Otherwise, everything looks off. Okay, and the other thing that this author wants is she wants lines on either side of the image. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to say insert shapes. And I'm going to pull a line out and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to just plop it in here. And then over here for the up down, I'm going to say make that 0. I want it black. And I want the weight of the line to be 2 1/4. And I'm going to copy and paste that. And I'm going to put it on the other side. So notice that it was lined up with the edge, And then I am going to make sure that these are aligned top, so I know they're lined up. And then I'm going to go back to my image here. And this is going to look weird, but I'm going to say in front of the text, and I'm going to center it. And then I'm just going to hit enter a few times. Probably one more than I wanted so that it's nicely centered there. That looks good. Maybe one more. Kind of looking at the balance of the white space here and the white space here. I'll give one more here. Let's back out a little bit now that we have everything there. So we have the spider here, the lines here. This is all kind of a balancing act here. So we have white space. Eventually we're going to have the title of the book here, the title of the author over here. So we're just trying to balance everything out. And then I'm going to come to the word the, and I'm going to hit drop cap and add that there. Most people can find paragraph and page setup in layout for and design for paragraph spacing and things. Drop cap is, I believe, in insert. Is it under drop cap? So insert drop cap. I just put everything into my bar, so you can just right click and say add to quick access toolbar because I use it enough. So I add everything there. Once you have this the way you like it, what I do is I come after the A and I copy all of this to the T. And so I copy it. Now I have to remember all the steps I did, right? And then, so this is, this character is the odd chapters. So I will go to her name again, and I will, once again, backspace, highlight, and center. And then I will come here and highlight all of that, everything I had, and hit paste. Whoa. Undo. Let's go one fewer and hit paste. I don't know why you turned blue. And I probably should have backspaced you right away. And then I'm going to hit that and hit drop. So then I will repeat that exact same action for all of the odd chapters so that all of the chapters look the same, including making this 16 point. And I save along the way because, in case suddenly my computer decides to crash. Then once I'm done with that, I'll go back and do Everett because Everett happens to have a rose instead of the spider. And I'll do the same thing. So notice that Everett also has 16 point here and the same lines, and I'll copy this and paste it on all of the even chapters. Now, if you're worried about these lines not being exactly the same, I will go through and make sure the lines are exactly the same. They will be the same in the end. I just had done this before, so you could see how it will look every other chapter. But all in all, the images, the chapter headers will be the same on the two, and they'll go every other one, and each point of view will have their own image, and this will be done. A few other things. These images came from Deposit Photo. They were bought. They are not stolen art. It's important to make sure you know where the art comes from. You've paid for the art, all of that. And I really like the idea of this like cut and paste and make sure you put it exactly where you want. Other art that I might pay for would be if there are scene breaks, but there aren't any in this book, so I won't be showing those to you right now. All right, I hope you have enjoyed watching how I do my chapter headers, and I will see you in the next video. Please make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you.